Welcome back to another episode of The Burn. Now this episode is going to be a little bit different. It's just you and I having this opportunity one-on-one to talk about what your next great challenge might be. Every single week we bring you stories of unbelievable athletes and celebrities, people from the business world that have fought through challenge and adversity, that have incredible stories to help you connect to your burn. So even though this week you don't see a little Zoom box of somebody with me, or you don't see somebody across from me, it's just us one-on-one, this is no different. This is about you challenging yourself, you staying connected to your burn, that fight that lies inside of you. What better time to do that than right now, as we start looking at the final quarter of the year. The championship rounds, if you look at this as a 12-round fight, a 12-round year. That's what championship fights are. The last 3 rounds, those championship rounds, that is where you make the difference. That is what this week's episode of The Burn is all about. So I got a story for you about belief. Last week, I had the blessing of being with my Kansas State football family. This is my 6th year working with Coach Kleinman, the head coach, 2nd year at Kansas State, and 2nd year we would have an opportunity to beat Oklahoma. Last year we knocked them off 48-41, kept them from having their opportunity to win the national championship. 24-point underdogs when we beat them last year. This year, we were in Norman, Oklahoma. One of the most storied football programs. Intimidating environment. 28-point underdogs. Oklahoma ranked 3rd in the country. Everything on paper said Kansas State did not have a chance. Might be the same things that you're telling yourself about the remaining portion of your year and what might be possible for you. But we all have an opportunity in our lives to dig down deep and to believe. Every week when I'm with Kansas State, Friday is when the first message is delivered to set the tone for the mindset for the final 24 hours before kickoff. And we talked about intentional focus rather than pressure. Far too many people put pressure on a result, pressure to make a play, pressure to score a touchdown, pressure to win a game, or pressure for you to win the end of your year. Why put undue pressure on yourself? You're mentally keeping yourself from moving forward and having a higher probability to attack and to win. I shared with the team a message that applies for you as you finish your year. Intentional focus. For Kansas State, 60 minutes. Play the full 60. One heartbeat, believe in each other, and continue to fight play after play after play. In a football game, there's about 12 to 13 minutes of live action. That means 6 minutes on offense, 6 minutes on defense. You break down the total number of plays, it's about 6 seconds of play. So it's the 60 minutes, one play at a time, 6 seconds of play with intentional focus. Those young men believed in themselves the full 60 minutes. Kansas State was down 35-14. People probably turned their TVs off at home. But we as a family stood on that sideline and kept saying one play at a time, one play at a time. And we chipped away at that Oklahoma lead, one play at a time. We wreaked havoc. We caused turnovers. We made them uncomfortable, and we let them know that we were in it for the full 60 and they wanted no part of our fight. What's the mentality that you're taking to this final quarter? Maybe you're behind where you intended to be, but where you are right now is no reflection of what is possible for you with your finish. A 35-14 lead for Oklahoma was no reflection of who we were as a football team. Sometimes when you're behind, you have to dig down deep to figure out what you're truly made of. We battled back one score at a time, one score at a time. Until Blake Lynch, our star kicker, score 35-35, puts his entire leg into it. One big swing through the uprights. 38-35. A 50-yard field goal. 3 minutes left in the game. We still had to finish. One play at a time. Oklahoma gets the ball back. We continue to stay relentless on defense, play after play after play, until Jerron McPherson has a game-winning interception. We put so much pressure on Oklahoma, and they looked at it as pressure, whereas we just had intentional focus, one play at a time. They buckled under pressure. We ended up walking off that field victorious because of intentional focus. So how have you been showing up every single day? Have you been putting pressure under the results? I've got to get a result, got to get a result, got to sell something, got to make it happen? Or are you focused on intentional focus? I'm going to let you guys into the locker room to take a look at the celebration, to have the opportunity to hear messages from Coach Kleiman and from me. And I hope it fires you up. After these videos, we got plenty more, but after these videos, I hope it just sparks a fire for the rest of what we're going to talk about. You planning for your year. You finishing this year strong. You attacking the details. And don't ever forget, it's hard to beat a team that refuses to quit. Don't quit on yourself. Here's a little special fire for you.
What did I tell you guys at halftime? One play at a time. They're not better than us. And they were not better than us. We were beating ourselves. And I told you to stay the damn fight. And you stood the fight and you kept battling. Guys, when you play for each other, great things can happen.
To not just listen to the words one heartbeat, but to truly live it. To not just say we believe, but to believe. And to come into a hostile environment and to choose to play the full 60 minutes. 60 minutes of hell. Do not be seduced by success. Do not look ahead. Do not look past the opportunity to work on your body tomorrow. We win tomorrow, and then we win Monday, and we win Tuesday, and we keep stacking days. That's the way winning is done. Don't be seduced by success. Continue to believe. One heartbeat. And I got something, man, I've been wanting to say for a long time. Finish!
So now what you do with those words from that locker room, maybe they inspire you. They make you want to run through a wall. I know when I hear Coach Kleiman, that's what he makes me want to do. Iron sharpens iron. I've learned so much from him, and he makes me better. As a leader, as a coach, as a husband, as a father, he makes me a better man. So who's surrounding you on this journey till the end of the year? Who's going to help you believe in what's possible this final quarter, these final 3 rounds of your prize fight this year? One of my big philosophies on planning, we're going to have a special planning webinar. Make sure that you sign up for this webinar. We're going to go into great detail on one of the special nuances, the special mindsets that I have for planning. I'm going to give you a little bit of an exercise, but I encourage you to stay in for the full-blown webinar. Sign up for it. Let's enjoy that opportunity together. We'll get you updates on how to sign up, but make sure to be on the lookout for updates on signing up for the webinar. I've always believed that you close a year in October, first week of November at the very latest, but typically the beginning to mid-October. So imagine each of you takes out a piece of paper right now and you write personal up at the top of one, professional up at the top of the other, and you write down your 2021 goals. Now, for many of you, I certainly would hope, if you're really challenging yourself to think bigger in life and to get after it, that your goals for 2021 will be bigger than your 2020 goals. Write those down. Get fired up about it. And I mean, be clear, be detailed. What are the things you want personally? What are the things you want professionally? I believe planning can be simple. It's the way I've always planned. We'll go into greater detail on the webinar. But write down what those goals are. Then identify the behaviors that are connected to the most important goals personally and professionally. Now, here's where it gets interesting. What happens if you decide, because you're so fired up about those 2021 goals, and don't protect yourself, go all in, truly challenge yourself. You get so fired up about those 2021 goals that you actually pull them into 2020. You pull the 2021 habits, the disciplines, the action steps it's going to take to achieve the 2021 goals. You finish the last quarter of this year with 2021 behaviors. Not only will you finish your year stronger, you will have more momentum heading into next year. Who wouldn't want that? That's your opportunity. The opportunity is now. There's still things to work on. As I said in the video, no seduction of success. We have to continue to improve. Football season in 2 games. You got to keep fighting. We have to analyze our behaviors to determine how bad we want it and the changes we need to make to continue to pursue our highest levels of performance. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about today is 75 hard. I know I had mentioned it. I know I had teased you guys about some of my breakthroughs regarding 75 hard over the last 75 days. I started 75 hard on July the 6th. Finished on September the 18th, my mother's birthday, created an environment where there was no possible way that I was going to quit. I couldn't possibly quit on this 75 hard challenge knowing that I would celebrate the final day, the final breakthroughs on my mother's birthday. When's the last time you really challenged yourself? You know, I say this to you humbly, and you all know I'm on my 29th book of the year now. I have 2 coaches. I remind you of these things because I'm not a finished product. I'm trying to get better every day myself. We're fighting to get better together. But 75 Hard was a program that I was saying, I don't need to do that. I already do my unrequired workout. I've already done it over 460 straight days. What do I need to do that for, right? That's the type of self-talk that we have. And then finally on July the 6th, what was it, a couple weeks before, I had said, why would I not challenge myself to see what more I have in my tank? Maybe it'll make me sharper. Maybe it'll make me better. Maybe it'll make me stronger. Maybe it'll make me mentally tougher. See, some of you may look at my example and say, gosh, he pushes hard. But I had more to give. Now completing 75 hard, there have been some amazing takeaways that I've had about the push, about the challenge, about what greatness really looks like. And you know what it's done? It's caused me to get even hungrier for what is possible, hungrier for the next level, to keep some of the behaviors that I learned through 75 hard. You know, what I'd done in the past is I would do a 10-day cleanse, a 30-day cleanse, and I'd have all these major breakthroughs. And then some of the old habits would come back. I still haven't had any sugar. I've continued on so many of the over a gallon of water a day, which I had been doing, but over 10 pages of reading every single day. I was still reading all the time, but it wasn't every single day. My workouts have been intense. I've kept the behaviors. This time they stuck because there was something different. I want to share 3 of the main takeaways that I had during the 75 Hard program. Because sometimes when you really challenge yourself, when you really push to find out what you're truly made of, it's incredible what you find out. It's incredible the fight that you have inside of you. And before I share these, I just want to say a couple of thank yous. Thank you to my brother Andy Frisella for writing the program, for writing the book. And when I share 75 Hard, right, it's his program, it's his book. Pick some challenge for you. When I share some of these takeaways, you don't have to do 75 Hard, but how can you challenge yourself, right? We already talked about planning. We already talked about being even more intentional with your daily behaviors. So what can you do to challenge yourself over this last quarter to go all in, personally and professionally? Because you may have some similar takeaways to this too. And then I want to thank David Goggins, a man who ever since I met him when we shared the stage at Alabama training camp, he inspires me every single day. I have reminders in my environment of David Goggins every day. And in his book, Can't Hurt Me, he talked about that 40% rule. When we feel like we have nothing left in the tank, we've actually only gone through 40%. There's 60% of our capacity remaining. And pushing through 75 hard made me realize the truth of that Navy SEAL philosophy. So 75 hard caused me to push, to show up differently, even when I already thought that I was showing up at an extreme level to be a great example. Here are 3 of the takeaways. Day 49, I was experiencing a calm, a focus, a relentless tenacity, starting to see what is possible and what chasing greatness really looks and feels like. Pushing like I never have before. Whatever it takes, a relentless pursuit of greatness. Day 66. As you think, so you become. Be uncommon amongst the uncommon. This isn't for everyone. Day 68. The real breakthrough has arrived. This is not for everyone. I now clearly see that. This doesn't stop here. We are just getting started. Don't let this mindset waver. Own it and keep attacking the next level. I am uncommon amongst the uncommon. Are you showing up with uncommon behaviors? You know the true measure of your push. 75 hard helped me find that next level, that next push, and now I'm fighting for the next level. I've scheduled phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. For those of you that are interested in going on the journey with me, it's one of the reasons why I've intentionally scheduled my phases the way that I have. There's 3 phases after you complete 75 hard. If any of you are actually interested in 75 hard, you have enough time to start the program now. And if you finish that 75, or I should say when you finish the 75 days, it's very hard. So there is an if, but I'm going to say when, because if you start, I'm going to believe in you that you're going to get there. We're going to start phase 1 on January the 4th. It'd be amazing to go on that journey with you to figure out what the next breakthroughs would be. And we could experience those breakthroughs together. But remember, we've only got one shot. One opportunity to stay connected to that burn that lies inside of you. I connected the finish of 75 hard to my burn, to my mom, because I will never stop writing her story. Stay connected to your burn. Don't underestimate the power of your burn. It's that fire that lies inside of you that lights your why and your purpose on fire, that then causes you to push, to stay uncomfortable, to take the necessary action to reach your true peak performance. And remember, my definition for winning, it isn't what shows up on that scoreboard. Winning is about your ability to look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and to say, today I gave it my very best. If you can do that one day at a time and stack those days on top of each other, nobody can ever take that away from you. And you can never ask any more of yourself than your very best. I am in your corner. We are in this fight together. 3 rounds to go in this prize fight. Stay connected to your burn. Keep attacking. Keep that burn motivating you to do what you never thought was possible. Push and challenge and keep attacking the process. So thank you so much for joining us for this special episode of The Burn. Nobody in a Zoom box, no guest, but this was about that challenge for you. It's now your time to rise up. It's now your time to choose to connect to a deeper level to your burn. And you know what? Do me a favor this time. Reach out to us. Let us know. What guests do you want to see on The Burn? What questions do you want answered on The Burn? What more can we do to help you consistently challenge yourself? Not just when we have special episodes like this. Stay connected to that burn. Keep fighting. We are in your corner.